Where do I begin? This just sounded very strange, in my opinion. It sounded very strange. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm the marriage expert. Definitely not. I'm definitely not the marriage expert. I'm not going to sit here and act like I am, because I'm not. But this sounds a little off. Why Cheryl Lee Ralph and her husband, Vincent Hughes, don't live together and it's perfect. Let me read that again with a little bit more conviction. Why Cheryl Lee Ralph and her husband, Vincent Hughes, do not live together and it's perfect. Let me ask you a question. I'm just saying, like, you supposed to live with your spouse, ain't you? You supposed to live with your spouse. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Let me play the video.
I'm very fortunate. The man that I am married to, Senator Vincent Hughes, 7th Senatorial District of Philadelphia, he has his own life. I have my own life. He has his own real career. I have my own real career. He has his light to stand in. I have my light to stand in. So he is not looking at me, thinking about status or this or that. He's doing his thing. I get to do my thing. We also live in separate places. When I go to see him, love to see him. When it's time to leave, bye-bye, see you soon.
They treat him like a puppy.
You, life is good.
Oh my gosh.
Perfect. I get to be the real good one.
You treat him like a grandchild. Love to see him. When I see him, love to see him. Yo, hold on.
The man that I am married to.
Let me listen to this again. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything.
Senator Vincent Hughes, 7th Senatorial District of Philadelphia. He has his own life. I have my own life. He has his own real career. I have my own real career. He has his light to stand in. I have my light to stand in. So he is not looking at me, thinking about status or this or that. He's doing his thing. I get to do my thing. We also live in separate places. When I go to see him, love to see him. When it's time to leave, bye-bye, see you soon. I'm telling you, life is good. Perfect. I get to be the real good wife. I'm very fortunate.
She treat him like a grandchild, bruh. Yo, when I go to see him, love to see him. Give me the baby. Oh, I love to see the baby. Okay, the baby crying, the baby pooped. The baby had a blowout. Here, you take the baby back. Bye-bye. See you soon. This your husband? I'm confused. That's not the lifestyle that I want. That's not the marriage that I want. I'm confused. Is it unbiblical? Because listen, I don't know these people. I don't know her stance. I don't know her views, right? But I try to look at stuff from like a biblical perspective, from a biblical standpoint. Is it unbiblical to not live with your spouse? I'm gonna make the argument that it is. I'm gonna make that argument. I don't know if I'm gonna be right. I don't know if I'm gonna be wrong. Y'all can let me know in the chat. But first things first, is this a relationship? Is this a marriage? A framework of a marriage? A framework? Is this a framework that you would be interested in? A couple things, right? A couple things. Now, you just look at Genesis 2:24, right? It say leave and cleave. Some translations say leave and be united. Some translations say leave and be joined, leave and hold fast, right? It doesn't necessarily mean like you have to be with that person 24/7, like just like glued to that person 24/7, like, you know what I'm saying? Like conjoined twins. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It doesn't mean that. But cleave actually means to adhere to stick to join with. That's what cleave actually means, right? So that could be in all things, right? You're cleaving to your spouse, you're cleaving to your wife. You're committing to work through problems, even when times get hard. So when times get hard, you're committing to work through problems. When there's hardship, you're committing to put God first and to seek him first and consider his wisdom and guidance in that hardship first, right? Leave and cleave. You're laying down your life. You're laying down your life for your spouse. Leave and cleave, right? Also, Corinthians, 1 Corinthians to be specific, 7, it says this, now concerning the matters about which you wrote, it is good for a man not to have sexual relations with a woman. But because of the temptation to sexual immorality, each man should have his own wife and each woman her own husband. Just one, not multiple. Because a lot of y'all be using this verse to justify your polygamy. This is a singular. His own wife, her own husband, not multiple. I just had to say that. This is off topic, but I recently saw people using this verse to justify polygamy. Sick. The husband should give to his wife her conjugal rights, and likewise the wife to her husband. For the wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. Likewise, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does. Do not deprive one another, except perhaps by agreement for a limited time, that you may devote yourself to prayer, then come together again, so that Satan may not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. Listen. Do not deprive one another, except perhaps by agreement for a limited time. Okay, cool. They might agree to live in separate places. That you may devote yourselves to prayer. That you may devote yourself to prayer. Not that you may devote yourself to your career. Not that you may devote yourself to your career. Not that you may devote yourself to your own personal happiness and your own personal satisfaction, in your own sense of wanting independence, but that you devote yourself to prayer. That you devote yourself to God. So listen. You're living in separate places. It sounds like the majority of the time. I don't know the full extent of their relationship, but that's what it sounds like. And yeah, they might come together, have some coffee, go to work, come together, watch Survivor, and then they go home to their own homes. Okay. You're opening the door to temptation. You're opening the door to temptation. You can't tell me that you're not. You can't tell me that you're not. You can't tell me that you're not. That's just how I feel about it. On top of that, I don't want a marriage where I don't even like being around my wife. If you enjoyed being around your wife, like, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. My wife is my best friend. She's my best friend. Now, naturally, we're human beings. We're all human beings. Naturally, there are some cases where she would probably say that I get on her nerves, right? She would probably say that. And maybe she gets on my nerves a little bit too. If you're watching, baby, this is just a sake for just for the conversation. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, it's natural. These things happen. Does that mean that you need to live separately? To take it a step further, and listen, I don't even like the whole situation when people be talking about, oh, we sleep in different rooms. Like, why do you sleep in different rooms? I don't understand that. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I know there might be certain times it might be, oh, he be snoring. You know what I'm saying? He got the CPAP machine and it's loud and he's snoring. I can't sleep. Okay. I understand it. I get it. I get it. But if you're just sleeping in different rooms just because it's like, yo, I can't stand to be around this purpose, like, and I understand there's different seasons in marriage. There's different seasons. You might be going through a hard season, and that's real, actually. That is real. You might be going through a hard season. You might be going through a season where you're praying for God to restore your marriage, and now you're sleeping separately or you're living apart. But I pray and I hope that you're praying for restoration in that situation and that you're not just content with that being what it is. That's what I hope. Because if you're just content with that being what it is, then you're opening up the doors of temptation. You're opening up the door to Satan in your marriage. So I pray that you're seeking restoration and seeking counsel from God and listening to whatever wisdom he's giving you in that situation and not just sitting back and allowing that to be what it is. So once again, she seems ecstatic. She seems happy. Here's the thing. We have free will. You know, I'm not making this video to bash her. I'm just making it because I think it's an interesting conversation point. And she said that it works for her and she likes it and she's happy. But it seems like the root of why she likes it is because it's separate. I just feel like it's missing that cleave element. It's missing that oneness. It's missing that become one fleshness. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like, oh, we're more successful and we're more productive when we're apart. So this is better for us to be apart. Okay, but is it honoring God? You know what I'm saying? Are you putting God first in this equation, or are you putting your career first in this equation? That's my question. That's all I'm saying. If she's happy, go ahead, rock out, do what you want to do. I pray that you allow God to be at the head of your marriage. But everybody has free will. Maybe she don't want that. I don't know. Let me know what you think, chat. She putting herself first in your opinion? I don't know, man.